Welcome to Talk to Me. I'm your host, Brenda Warren, the solutionist. I see things other people often miss as I help entrepreneurs, veterans, and authors turn their mess or their mission into a message for the masses. And today we are talking about the letter A, not for Apple like on Sesame Street, but A in the TAPIN method, which is all about announcing and accountability. And as usual, I have my partner in crime with me, Miss Lisa Deshawn, who is an accountability coach, and she's going to help me unpack what it means to announce your intentions and get accountability. Because a lot of us will say what we want to do, but we don't want to be held accountable for that. So today we're going to unpack the A because we're going through each letter in the tap-in method this week. We started with the T. It was all about mindset and transformation. But today, we want to talk about what it means to announce the intentions of things you say you want to do and getting accountability around that. Lisa, are you ready for the conversation?
I am absolutely ready. You know for a fact that is my favorite topic in the world, next to veterans.
Especially when it comes to accountability. Sometimes, Lisa, it's one thing to say I want to lose weight, because that was one of the things we used as an example for tapping into weight loss. And for those of you that don't know, the tap-in method is a method I created. It's a 5-step strategic plan designed to help you get from here to there. And why I like the A in the tap-in, Lisa, is because the gap in between where I am and where I say I'm going was the scariest place for me. Because it's one thing to say I want to lose weight and then even change my mindset to believe that I could lose weight, and then begin to start the process and, ooh, child, tell somebody I want to lose weight and how much weight I want to lose, and then gain some accountability behind that. And for those of you that didn't see yesterday, you can go back and watch it. But I want to lose 30 pounds. And so when I began to say that, it changed the dynamics, because now I've announced my intentions to lose the weight. But I still had to work on getting some accountability. So that's where Lisa comes in. And a couple other folks, and all these people that are watching are going, if they don't see me lose weight, Lisa, it's like it's going to be drama and kaflama.
Yeah, I think it's funny because one of the things, and it's an ongoing debate when it comes to the announcement phase, right? Because one of the things when it comes to announcement is some people say, tell the world, let everybody know it, let all your followers know what you're going to do, and they will all hold you accountable. But in reality, that doesn't happen. When you announce it, the only people you ever want to rely on in the announcement are a handful of people. Because those are the ones who are really going to help you get through and hold you accountable, because accountability is actually action, and it's the action that has to be taken. So when we do the announcement, even though you announced it in front of all your viewers and everybody who's going to watch and share your videos, et cetera, the ones who are really going to hold you accountable during the announcement are really the people who are supporting you. And that, I think, is kind of really important when you make that announcement, because sometimes, and I'm going to use an example of somebody who announced that actually their goal was to walk one of the highest mountains, and they went through this trail, and I forget which trail it was, but they went through the trail and they stopped. And then they backtracked because it had an app where you could follow them, and they backtracked. And so people could follow them, realizing they were coming back home, and they didn't actually say they were coming back home. They had hoped everybody stopped following them. But the guilt that this person felt didn't get them to keep going. It just made them feel worse that they didn't accomplish what they said they were going to, because the announcement to all these people included people that were not necessarily his friend. Which means they would do what I would do if there was somebody I didn't particularly care for. I'd say, oh, yeah, you tried and you failed. Opposed to if it was you, I would have said, you tried, but that's okay. Let's do this instead. So there's always a difference. So when you make the announcement, some people can just be mean and ugly, and that's unfortunately the reality. So when you announce it, it's how you announce it and where you announce it.
And we're still on the announcement piece, Lisa. I learned a long time ago, because I remember when I first wanted to work on debt freedom, or when I wanted to work on my spiritual practice, and different things like that. And you do have to be careful who you announce it to, because sometimes the very people that you announce it to, if you're not careful, will be what deters you from making your goal. It's, for example, when I said I wanted to lose 30 pounds recently, before I even announced it yesterday, is it people started sending me like gift boxes of chocolates and candy. I'm like, oh no, you're not gonna sabotage me on purpose. And they were like, well, I know you said you wanted to lose weight, but I just found this perfect chocolate. Now all this time you not sending me not one piece of chocolate. Couldn't even get a Hershey bar from you, and now you want to send me gourmet chocolate? Really? What's that all about? So you have to be careful who you announce your intentions to, because even people that mean well for you, for whatever reason, will seem like saboteurs. And I'm like going, I had to look at that person with the side eye like twice. Because, I mean, seriously, I announced I want to lose 30 pounds and you send me gourmet chocolates. Oh, chocolates. Chocolates?
Well, maybe their thought process was she's going to lose weight, so she might as well enjoy it now so she can sit down and splurge. So now she's got it out of her system. And by the way, they're expensive chocolates, therefore.
And the person, well, I was thinking about that before, and you just happened to announce this. I'm like, yeah, I'm still side eye. Okay. Anyway, anyway, so there, in the tapping method, we talk about the importance of announcing, and sometimes you just need to announce it to yourself. Like if you are a journaler, or you are a person that takes notes, or maybe you just have a little talk with the creator and say, look, this is what I want to do. And then once you've done that, now you've decided what it is you want to do, be it have an improved spiritual practice, or become financially independent. What is it? Get mental clarity, become an entrepreneur, switch jobs. What else is there? Have a better relationship, transition from being a veteran to a civilian, or get physically fit, work on your wellness, or even lose weight. So you've announced that intention to do that, be it to a small group or even to a large group like a YouTube audience or something like that. But then here comes the part of that scary space. Oh my God, I told people I want to lose 30 pounds. So now people are watching. And, people began to nitpick. So it's important about how, like you say, how you announce, where you announce, and even when you announce. And let's just say we've gotten past the scariest part, which is we actually said, I want to blank, whatever it is you want to do. Now comes the accountability piece. How hard is it for people to hold themselves accountable, Lisa?
It's almost impossible. And even with that deep, strong why we talked about yesterday. So when you announce it, you not only announce what you're doing, but you also have to remind yourself why you're doing it, because those two go hand in hand. And accountability for ourselves is extremely difficult because there are so many things that stop us and can get in our way. You could be so busy all day long and you just don't have time to get up and walk. Everybody says get up every hour, take a 2-minute walk, come back to your seat. Well,
Right.
some people get up every hour, they take a 2-minute walk, but that 2-minute walk becomes 10 minutes and then they've just messed up their day. So it becomes almost difficult. So I like the idea of the video because we can do the video. And I talked a little bit about this yesterday. So for people who want to hold themselves accountable, what they need to do is every night say, okay, this is what I was going to do. This is what I did. If you didn't do it, explain to yourself why. Because there are going to be times where you're not going to do what you said you were going to. And we'll use your bag of chips from yesterday as an example. I happened to show up at your house one day and I have a bag of chips because I just happen to have a bag of chips because I love chips. See, and then you start eating some. Well, now all of a sudden you feel bad about yourself and you end up eating more because, you just can't eat one. That's the whole commercial. And so, but it's okay if you don't, if you have a mess up. It's what you do getting back onto it, getting back on track. I mean, you can't mess up every other day, but I find that if you are looking at the video and you're reminding yourself every day, I was successful. This is how I felt when I was doing it right. This is how I felt. Because once again, we go back to the T, the mindset aspect of it.
Right.
For the transformation. Mindset is important in accountability because people are not always going to take action. And that's the most important part.
And Lisa, when you realize that, for me, holding myself accountable for weight loss just hasn't worked for me, because like you said, if someone shows up with chips, then I'm like all for the chip. And as an example, yesterday we were in the midst of this, and Alex had gone out to get something, and there's this new donut place, and they have this amazing donut that's like a donut and a funnel cake had a baby.
Oh,
Did I eat?
Alex didn't get me one.
No, but Alex didn't get me one either. But it was like, just try a little piece, Mama. Just try a little piece. And I'm like, no, Alex, I'm trying to lose weight. I've just got off of this um, YouTube live stream, and I'm telling everybody on LinkedIn and Facebook and everywhere else that I'm losing weight, so I just can't. No, Mama, it's just taste a little piece. I ate that little piece, right? It was like a party in my mouth. I was like, child.
Moderation is acceptable. If all you had was that little piece, you're good.
You know what? All I had was that little piece, because that little rascal had devoured the rest of it, trying to save me. But the whole problem was that when you are someone like me that likes sweets and chips and cookies and stuff like that, had there been anything else in my house, that would have been a rabbit hole that I would have dived into head first and, like swam through it, because that little explosion of deliciousness, maybe we need to stop this live stream so I can go get one. But it really was. I'm going to talk about it for a minute. That's a donut that tastes like a donut and a funnel cake had a baby. I want y'all out there to think about that for a minute. Sit with it. It's wrong on so many levels. So announcing that Mama's trying to lose weight did not deter, which is again about why it's important sometimes not to announce, because even family members that love you and want to see you become the best version of yourself will not intentionally sabotage you, but they don't have those boundaries set up. Now, before, mind you, here's the thing I think is funny. Alex is the last person to offer me sweets. Usually they're like, Mama, don't do this. But now I announce to the world I want to lose weight, and you bring me a funnel cake baby? Really? What's that all about? The universe is conspiring against me, Lisa. Here I am playing the victim again. Okay, I digress. Anyway. But then there's the part that, okay, I've announced it. I've just shared the world I have a little bit of issue, but most of y'all know that anyway. Okay, so if I can't hold myself accountable, what can I do next? Accountability coach Lisa.
So there are several things. We're going to go back to the simplest thing, which is you want to put yourself a yellow sticky or whatever color sticky you want, put it on your computer and put it on your mirror in your bathroom and put it on your fridge with the why you want to lose weight. Not that you want to lose weight. That doesn't need to be anywhere because you already know that. But you need to put the why on there, because that why is going to remind you every single time you go to do something or you're not eating right. And in the morning when you first wake up, that's like one of the biggest things. There you go.
I have my yellow sticky.
And that really is going to help a whole bunch. And the other thing that you can do is find a buddy. Losing weight is difficult. And I'm an avid believer that you really need to find a buddy. There are several of my clients. One of the most important things I do every morning, because I'm an early bird. I'm usually up between 4 and 4:30 in the morning because I have a bunch of things to do. And I will send motivational emails out to them. Yeah. They're very short, sweet, to the point, but it's a little reminder of the things that they don't want to do. Or sometimes it's a reminder about an exercise or something that I found that was interesting. So find that buddy that's going to help you lose the weight and lose it with you. So you're not doing it alone. And we're in a Zoom world, so everybody can do it. If you're watching this live, then you can watch it. Then you've got the ability to Zoom. And that's going to be really important. And then what you do is make sure you take pictures of yourself as you progress. Yeah. I will tell you, nothing bothers me more than somebody says, "Oh, I can't take a picture because I'm so fat." Okay, well, if you're gonna lose weight, then why does it matter if you're fat? And beauty is only skin deep. Let's be realistic. And
Mhm.
some of us are fat. I mean, I am clearly obese. There's no doubt. You can tell by looking at me I'm obese. And I know that. And when I'm ready to lose weight, that will be what I will do is I will take pictures of myself as I progress, because that's important that you see the progression. Some people lose weight in their face first. Other
Mhm.
people lose weight on their side, in their stomach, in their legs. There's a variety of places that people lose weight. But always take those pictures, because those pictures will help you hold yourself accountable. Because let me tell you, if you don't see any change after a week, even if it's just a little bit, you're going to make sure that you keep going because you want to lose the weight. You're going to see the weight. Then all of a sudden, you're going to start noticing
Mhm.
when you put the pictures side by side that you're going to do it. Those will help you be accountable, and also recording yourself or journaling. This is how I felt at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's really, really important, because once again, it's all about mindset.
And Lisa, that was one of the things that was really beneficial to me because up until recently, I call it, I was a slave to my scale because I was just like, the scale is not moving. I'm still 230 pounds. I'm so irritated. But because you had me taking pictures and saying, record from the beginning, what I didn't realize that over the past few months, my scale didn't change, but boy, did my body change. I can see my curves, y'all. I was like, okay. So I had to realize that it wasn't about a number on this scale, but it was about how I felt and how I looked. I've gotten stronger. I can do more push ups than I could do a few months back. I can definitely do more squats than I could do a few months back. And even with my recent injury that put me back in physical therapy, I realized I had strengthened my body in a way that really supported what I'm trying to do now. But the weight has not changed. And I know it's going to be consistency over time, which eventually the number on the scale will come down. And even if it doesn't, at this point, I've gotten to a place where I'm not um, tied to that number on
Right.
the scale because I realize my body is, the weight is redistributing on my body. And I look totally different now in pictures today than I did in September. And so that was an accountability part that was really effective for me as I tapped into weight loss. And so having that can work the same way with your finances. It's like taking that, maybe it's not a picture, but it's a snapshot. If you are in debt right now, if you take an inventory of everything that you owe, and you know what it is today, and you mark that date on your spreadsheet, on your piece of paper, on your iPhone, your iPad, your computer, whatever it is, however you track it, and then you make the necessary payments and check it a month from now, 2 months from now, 6 months from now, because that's what I did, Lisa. I created an Excel spreadsheet. I wrote down everybody that I owed, and boy, was I shocked. But when I look back at that spreadsheet from where I am today, I am amazed and I'm excited because I can see the progression. And it was a way of holding myself accountable too when I had a detailed listing of what I spent
Yeah.
and what was coming in so that I could go, oh, I can do better in that area. Just like you do with weight loss. It's like I'm choosing to track what I eat in Fitness Pal. So I can see where, and I put, if I eat it, it goes in Fitness Pal. Even that little piece of funnel cake baby. So there's a way for me to go, if I increase weight when I do my weigh in this week, and I'll know, well, I shouldn't have did this, and I can tweak it so that I can make adjustments. But that's why I really like the accountability aspect of the tap in, because whatever you choose to tap into, it's important that you have accountability, because oftentimes we'll like I said, we'll say I want to do blank, and it stops there. But by having that accountability portion with your announcement, that is the gap filler, I call it, that will allow you to actually meet your goal. We're going to take a little bit of a break right here, Lisa, and we're going to talk about the giveaway. For those of you that do not know, on my website, BrendaTheSolutionist.com, you can get a free download of the Best Year Ever Blueprint. That blueprint will help you map out your best year ever for 2022 or beyond if you choose to. But it's a really good little flip book that I created after I attended a training about how to have your best year ever. It is a gift that I put out there for people that are just trying to go to the next level and manifesting the life they want to live. I always say everyone has a story to tell. You have the pen, so why not make it an epic adventure? Go out there now and get the Best Year Ever Blueprint at BrendaTheSolutionist.com. And while you're at it, come go there and you'll see that my book, Soul Searching, Get on Board for Transformation, the second edition is also on pre-sale for Kindle, and the hard copy will come out on March 10th, on my grandmother's birthday, when we launch the Golden Ticket campaign. I'm so excited about that, Lisa.
Me too. I'm right there with you.
There's just so many things that come up to, and we talk to a lots of people um, throughout the week, as we talk to our regular clients and we talk to the people in the mastermind about why announcing your intentions are so valuable and so important. And I think I was really taken aback by one of the ladies I spoke to recently, who was saying she found TAPIN to be very easy to use, but she had a trouble with the announcement piece. And I was like, you have trouble with that part. And her thing was she didn't want anybody to know, just for the reason you said, because what if she failed? Now, to me, that also is a mindset issue. If you are worrying about your failure, I said, what if you succeed? Would you like to talk about that a little bit, Lisa?
Yeah, so that's where the transformation piece never happened. If you get to the announcement part and you're not ready to announce it to somebody and you're thinking you're failing, it means either A, you don't have your why and it's not solid enough, or B, you haven't determined that you actually want to transform.
Oh,
And
that's good.
and that's one of the challenges. So if you get to that announce and you're ready to announce, it means you're ready to take action. So you're ready to be held accountable. You're ready to hold yourself accountable. You may struggle along the way, which is why accountability requires more than one person. You can't hold yourself accountable, because a lot of times we have a tendency to be really lenient with ourselves. If I'm having a really bad day and fighting with somebody and I just like had it, I'll give myself permission to sit on the couch and do nothing. It doesn't matter what my why is of what I want to do if I've had a really bad day. So that's why your accountability person has to be somebody who is really going to be honest with you and say, look, you're going to sit there and have a bad day, or you take action. It's up to you. But if you're not at that announce stage at that point, then you need to go back and relook at your transformation piece. I was working with a client a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about the transformation aspect and the mindset, and they had a really deep why. I mean, literally in tears kind of why.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting because I'm sitting here thinking, okay, well, that's a strong why. If you're crying over it, it's really a strong why, and you're passionate about it. And then we get to the announcement part, and he wasn't ready to announce. So I was a little bit confused, but when we went back and we unpacked everything and went back to the transformation and the mindset, yeah, he had a solid why, but his why was connected to something else, not what he was getting ready to do. Because he wanted to start his own business and his why was really strong, but his why had absolutely nothing to do with starting a business. His why had to do with the job he wanted to do in that business. And that's why the announcement aspect was so difficult for him. So sometimes you have to step back, and it's okay if you do. But if you're not ready to announce, it means you really have to relook at that point. Because what's the purpose if you're afraid of failure? If you're afraid of failure, it means there's something wrong in your mindset at that point. And it's okay to be afraid of failure, by the way. Sometimes we have to move forward when we're afraid. And that's one of the things we learned in the military is I can't tell you how many times I was afraid to do something and it sucks to be you. Do it anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the action can still happen, but if you're not willing to announce it for fear you're going to fail, and you're not willing to announce for failure, then you have to go back and relook at your mental reason why you're doing something.
That's, one of the things that I think as I think about the tap in myself for all the different areas that people can tap in, I see that's usually the biggest thing that I've noticed people had the issue with, is because once they say it out of their mouth, then they have to actually hopefully take action. And the thing about it is, you and I both know we can't make people take action.
Right.
But I can tell those listening, I am one of the biggest proponents of announcing your intentions and also gaining accountability, because that's how Lisa and I met, because we became accountability buddies. And once I had Lisa in my corner, I really became unapologetically unstoppable, because I had someone, as I posted earlier on Instagram and everywhere else, I asked the question, do you have reflectors? Reflectors are those people that hold up the mirror to you and let you see your true self in your business or your personal life. And in the tap in, when you get past your transformation, then you get to the point to where you're at the A, where you're announcing your intentions, and you get an accountability buddy. They're going to be your reflector and go BS or great job, or you can still work on this. Because if you don't have that extra component of accountability, it's easy to lapse back into your limiting beliefs. So we want each of you to remember to tap in, starting with the T. You got to transform that mindset. And we're only at the A. Tomorrow night we won't be here, but we'll be back the following evening, because tomorrow I get to take my Alex to the University of North Carolina School of the Arts, because they have the so Alex is tapping into their greatness to be a prop person in the theater arts, and I'm so excited for Alex. Lisa, do you have any final thoughts on announcing and accountability for this evening?
I do. One thing I want everybody to think about, because I so firmly believe in accountability and I so firmly believe in announcing. I want to make sure that nobody uses creative avoidance when it comes to the accountability or the announcement. That's actually, believe it or not, the word I learned from Brenda. It's called procrastinate. It's an easier, better way to say procrastination.
Because creative avoidance sounds so much better.
It does, which is why I'm saying I don't want it.
I tried, y'all.
But it really is important, when you announce and you take action, because no matter what you do, and it doesn't matter, you are where you are today. You can go up or you can go down. It's up to you. So go forward, be grateful for where you are. And if you make some mistakes, fall, get up, whatever. If you announce and it doesn't go well, that's okay too. That's why you hold yourself accountable. If you're going to be the only one holding yourself accountable, please document it in some form, size, or fashion.
Thanks, Lisa, for joining me once again. You guys come back and hang out with us on Friday as we continue the tap in. We're going to be at the P, because we want you to be prepared. But for today, I'd like to remind everyone, the choices you make today will be the reality you live tomorrow. Choose wisely. Be blessed, everyone. Thanks, Lisa.
Thanks, Brenda. Bye-bye.